I'm the founder of Harlequin's Gardens Plant Nursery, which is here, and we developed these gardens actually before the nursery started. When we first got here, this ground had not a tree on it, no shrubs, no perennials, just bare ground. And the water supply here is extremely limited. Even with the nursery, we're operating the whole thing out of 3 cisterns, 2 on this side and 1 on the wholesale side. So everything that's growing here was started off by being watered by hand. All of these gardens have been time tested and drought tested. All of the trees, the shrubs, the roses, this garden here, everything that's growing has been managed with very little water and just with a little soil prep. This garden itself, you might say, it's a garden of a very busy old person after the spring bloom. So it's not a garden that you might see on the cover of Fine Gardening magazine, but I'm very proud of this garden. And what I'm really proud of is the fact that the garden, that nature is able to produce this much beauty and resilience without a lot of my care. I used to spend a lot more time here, but I don't have the time for it anymore. And still, even though there's a lot of weeds in here, it still looks nice. One of the things I'm proud about here is that the garden has been watered between 4 and 7 times a year for the last 30 years. Another thing that I'm proud of with this garden is that we've never used any pesticides or herbicides or fungicides on the garden ever. This tree, which is usually talked about as a shrub, is curl leaf mountain mahogany. And it's about in time for a prune here, take a little bit off the top, but it's been here for 35 years. It's one of the oldest plants in my garden. And it is a broad-leafed evergreen, which is very unusual that a broad-leafed evergreen can stand in full sun in Colorado winter sun. But the only thing it can't handle is shade. So right across from us is a non-native, and this is a European elderberry, very important berries for our immune system, very good pollinator plant. A lot of bees appreciate these kind of clusters of flowers. Right behind it is an Arizona cypress. They're generally not thought of as hardy in our area, but Alan Taylor from the University of Colorado found this growing on a high mountain in Arizona and has brought it here, and look how success is our native juniper, Juniperus scopularum, the Rocky Mountain juniper. This is a rather old specimen of a boxwood. People think, oh, you can't grow a boxwood in a Xeriscape garden, but of course we do. And here it is, looking really quite splendid. And it's a Mediterranean plant, so it really isn't, even though it's probably popularized as an English plant, it really is a Mediterranean plant, so it is adapted to drier conditions. And this is an Asian euonymus that makes a nice little tree. And this is a viburnum. It's a special cross of a viburnum. It has beautiful fall color and flowers and fruits. Is not getting as much water as it would like, but it's doing fine. This is our native cliff rose. It's getting a little more shade than it would like. It's leaning out this way, but it has beautiful flowers that support the pollinators, and right next to that is a very unusual specimen for our garden. It's a lily. It's a martagon lily that I never expected to survive here, but my wife convinced me to plant it as a bulb, and there it is. And then right at the base of that is an evergreen shrub called dwarf mountain lover, which was a plant select plant, and amazingly tough and resilient. And then this is a maple, which is related to Norway maple, but it is Acer truncatum, and I'm keeping it as a relatively small tree, but it is more drought tolerant than Norway maple, and is fitting in quite well here. And then kind of in this area, this is the east side of the house. And so being the east side of the house, it doesn't get the late afternoon sun and it doesn't get the west wind. So here is where I put some roses and other things that wouldn't survive out in the blast of our area. We have a lot of sun out here and the west wind is quite fierce. So here on the east side of the house we can have roses, and also I have some of my bonsai collections here, and this is a vine called porcelain vine, which will have porcelain blue berries later in the season. This is an evergreen oak, Quercus turbinella, sort of just getting started. It's probably 3 years old in my very dry garden, but it will eventually get probably 4, 5, 6 feet high. Another boxwood, and another boxwood back there. And so these are very drought tolerant salvias. It's clary sage, and it, as you may see, it has sowed itself around quite a bit. But for me, it's not a pest. I like it, and it's good for the bees, and so I let it move around. Soil is where it begins. If we have a healthy soil and a healthy soil biology, then the plants will be healthy, and if the plants are healthy, then the people who are eating those plants will be healthy.